Okay, we are rolling.
All right, we're back. It's been almost 1 year
Been a while.
since we did the last episode we put out, which is March 3rd.
Almost a year, more than a year.
No, March 3rd, 2020 was the last episode we put out.
Oh, so it's more than a year.
A little more than a year, a little bit more. Seems to be this pattern we get into. But in our defense, when last March, the whole world turned upside down, so we were hesitant to continue with the podcast just because we didn't know what to put out there. We didn't know where our life was going to go. We didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and we weren't really traveling, which we'll kind of talk about a little bit, but this is kind of a traveling podcast, family travel, and things that go along with it. So, yeah, kind of put a pause on things.
Yes. So we're back for a couple of reasons. One, my book, Full-Time RVing with Kids, an Insider's Guide to Life on the Road, is available now. When we put this out, it will be available. So don't put that. This is our resale. Craig's showing our resale copy that has a big thing across the front of it.
Yeah.
I don't even have the official book in hand yet. This was the practice book.
I ordered it. I was the first one.
But the book is out, and it is... We'll get into the book, actually. Let's take a step back and kind of update you guys on where we've been and what we've been doing.
Where we've been.
Last March, we got back from Israel, just made it back right before they closed the border, so that was crazy.
Yes, the day before they actually started doing all the craziness with shuffling airports and stuff, we got back here.
Yes, so that was good. And then from there, we actually went back to my parents down in Florida. They were staying down there with their RV and picked up our dog. And then unfortunately, we actually lost her the next day after getting back, which was really sad and not totally expected just because she was older, but she had been okay, and we thought we had another 6 months or so with her, and it was not expected at all.
No, it was awful.
So it was awful. So fortunately, we lost our first, what we call our first baby, because she was our first fur baby, the first other thing Craig and I had to take care of when we got married.
She didn't know what hit her with this lifestyle and 4 kids. Poor thing.
But that was very sad. And then from there, we had to decide what we were going to do as everything was shutting down, and we ended up going up to Destin and staying with our friends Shirley and Eris from Zula Life in their vacation rentals. Yeah, we went with them to Israel, so we figured we've kind of been together for, that 12 days, 13 days, whatever it came out to be. And, so we kind of quarantined with them. Yep, and then my sister and my parents came up, and we actually rented a house from them and stayed in Destin for another 6 weeks, so we ended up being there for almost 2 months through everything going on. So it worked out well, and then after that, we were like, well, this is still our life, so we've got to continue to do what we do. So we ended up going to Alabama and staying at 1,000 Trails there, and then met up with the Weinsteins again and my family in North Carolina. We went to Atlanta. We did some different things, working our way kind of up. And then in the meantime, we started working with Camping World and made a transition from a travel trailer into a fifth wheel. Yeah, we got a Montana High Country 335 BH. If you've been following along on social media or YouTube, you've kind of seen that, and it's awesome. I love it. Yes. The kids like it. So our first fifth wheel, too. So we will do an episode, since we do have our past one about the rigs we've been up to that point. We'll do another episode kind of updating about the being in the fifth wheel now. What it's all about. And, comparing that. And if you're interested to know more now, on our website, if you go to crazyfamilyadventure.com and search Family RV, you will be able to pull up a post we put together, including the fifth wheel, kind of pros and cons and all of that. But more on that to come. From there, we went up to Wisconsin then. We did some remodeling in the fifth wheel, and then we headed out west, and then we ended up getting solar on the rig at Future Solutions back in Indiana, and we got some more ride products put on and did a whole bunch of stuff. So if you've been following us on social media, you kind of know where we've been and what we've been doing. But the gist of it is that we have continued to travel through everything while still practicing social distancing, mask wearing, doing all the things we should be doing around that. We do have our kind of travel bubble we're with Zula Life and with my parents and my sister's family and a few other friends that we've seen, that we try to stay within that bubble as much as we can as well. So it's been a crazy ride. It has been, to say the least. Definitely. But we are now down in Texas, And we'll be here for a couple more weeks, and then we plan to do the West Coast and plan to have a lot more fun episodes coming.
Yes.
But this one we wanted to jump on to kind of update you on the past year, say we're still here, we're still doing it, we're still putting content out, trying to get more organized with everything so we have
a schedule to get these things out, because we have a story to tell, and whether you like it or not, you're going to listen to it.
No, we just have a lot of information that we struggle getting out and staying consistent. We're very unstructured people, so trying to put a structured schedule we struggle with, but we're working on it. But anyway, so what we wanted to come on today to talk about was the book Full-Time RVing with Kids, an Insider's Guide to Life on the Road. So this book has really been, one of the kids asked me the other day, well, Mommy, how long have you been working on this for? And in reality, I don't know, 7 years?
Probably. I mean, so every blogger aspires to be an author, right? Is that the transition, the career path? That. No? Okay.
And let me clarify, I am by no means a writer or an author. It is not a strong...
You are like a little J.R.R. Tolkien, aren't
you? No, not even close. See, he said no. Not even close. But what it is with the book, like I have this shelf that I created, this imaginary virtual shelf that I've called. So the shelf is really just a part of my brain that sits out there, and on the shelf there's tons of project ideas and things I want to do and things I want to accomplish and different things I know we could do and try and blah, blah, blah. And the way that I can continue to move forward with things is I keep putting things on the shelf.
Shelf it
so I don't get the shiny object thing and then don't get anything done. So keep shelving. Well, the book was on the shelf for a while.
Actually, the shelf overloaded and broke and fell, and the book hit you in the head. No, and you said, maybe I should do that now.
The shelf does not overload. It can be as filled as you want it. It's virtual. It's
like the genie's lamp, right?
Yes, you can just keep putting stuff there. But the book kept kind of hitting me in the head like, hey, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And I kind of kept ignoring it. And eventually it was like, we're taking it slow this winter. It was like, it's the time. Like, let's do this. Let's get this book together. Multiple people had asked for it. And so it was time.
Yeah.
So sat down and decided I was going to make it happen, busted out all the information and table of contents and things I had from years before. Actually took Alyssa's, from Heath and Alyssa's course on writing a book, which was super helpful to really help guide me through how to do that. So definitely recommend that. If you are interested, you can check them out, Heath and Alyssa, and they have a whole section on their courses and everything. So her book course was great and really started to pull it together. So a good portion of the book is blog posts that we have that I kind of took from our blog and put it down onto paper for the book, and then read through it and changed a few things and updated a few things. And then some of it is new content that you can't find on our website, and put that together and try to really just do a comprehensive book to try to help people figure out if being on the road full-time with your family is the right choice for you. So there's 26 chapters in it, and the first chapter kind of talks about us and how we became a full-time family, but the second one I think is a very important piece, and this is a podcast episode we have had, which is the 14 things to ask yourself before deciding to go full-time with your family. So this book definitely gets into really deciding if this is the right decision for you. It shares how much it costs, making money on the road, and then making that final decision. And we will be the first to tell you that it is not straightforward and an easy solution. We've met a few people on the road that were like, well, yeah, we said yes and we did it, and it's been great ever since. But the majority of people we meet, there's a lot of ups and downs and in and outs and questioning and all of that. So we share that in the book, our true path to it, standing in the kitchen, bawling our eyes out, feeling like we could never leave this house and go do this. And then for the first week on the road, like I cried every day, like, what are we doing? Why did we do this? So really trying to share that it's not just all an amazing vacation, but it is still life. So we really wanted to get into that and really share that as well.
Yeah. Hang on, back up 1 second. Who would you say this book is targeted for? So you said the title is Full-Time RVing with Kids, an Insider's Guide to Life on the Road. So is this meant for people looking to get on the road, about to be on the road, have been on the road, or all of the above, or...
So I initially thought it would just be for people that are looking to get on the road and want to know how to go about doing that and to answer those questions for them. But then when you and Craig read through it, he said he felt like even people that were already on the road should read it as well because there was a lot of really good insights.
Yeah, there is. And like this journey is such an evolving process that you learn things throughout the way that other people learn early on and we may have learned later. So yeah, I think it's a good thing for people just to have. Like it's a great reference for a lot of things on the road.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And I learned a few things myself while reading it, so thank you.
So yes, I would say the beginning part of the book is more for either people figuring out how to get on the road, trying to decide if it's right for them, and then also hopefully answering some of those questions about how it costs and, you know, how to make money on the road.
Well, and I think a lot of people romanticize about this life.
Yes.
And in reality, it's hard to pull the trigger and do it. And then when you do, there's a lot of uncertainty. And I think this book really helps kind of put that out in front of you before you do it. So at least you're expecting it a little bit and you kind of have some of those thoughts in your head already of like how I'm going to handle this or like what may be coming, where someone else may be just totally blindsided and they may get off the road because of that.
Yes, definitely. I think it definitely, we tried to lay it out that way so it wasn't just informational, but it was also stories, thoughts, feelings, reactions, like how the whole situation was. Yeah. We've been on the road now almost 7 years. May will be 7 years. So there's a lot of experience behind this, and with having 4 kids and having had pets on the road and lots of information for us to share there. We also get into picking your rig, which kind of that same idea. Even if you're already on the road, you may not be happy with your setup. So this picking your rig section could help you understand some of the different options.
We tried them all.
Cons. We did.
Tried all of them.
We've been in 5 since we've been on the road, almost 7 years. So good content, good information to have. But then once we kind of get past all of that, we do also get into like things you need, which I think that Craig was a big part of that chapter, and a lot of that is things that you maybe didn't even know you needed when you got on the road. And for us, a lot of those things we didn't have in the beginning, and now we have them. So again, sharing perspective and insights over multiple years on the road went into this book, and some of it that I did write was from years ago because I wanted to share what our true thoughts and feelings were after year 1 or after year 2. So you could really, it wasn't me looking back and writing it, it was actually going back and taking that content I had written then and putting it in the book so that you saw it. Here's the perspective from 1 year in versus perspective from 7 years in. Yeah. So kind of looked at it that way. We also get into chapter 14, which is about yes, alone time, sex time, couple time, all that type of stuff, because I know it's a question that people ask. So we do dive into that as well and really just try to answer those questions and make people feel better about it, both husband and wife feel better about those situations. We talk about when things go wrong, because that is going to happen on the road, like for sure, we all know that. Doctor and dentist visits. We won't talk about the thousands of dollars we just spent at the dentist when we're here. Yep.
Yeah, so some of those, like, I'd call them more logistical questions of, you know, things, needs that happen for families and just people in general, and how do you do it when you're not at a home base or like in a hometown where you have maybe gone to the same doctor your whole life.
Yes.
So those kind of things. Yes,
and we get into how to keep things simplified, how to keep your life working in this small space and with moving so much and just everything being a little different. Holidays on the road. We have a whole chapter on pets on the road, from how we manage that, tips on hiking with kids, planning tips, and then I do, like I said, talk about year 1, 2, 3, and beyond, and kind of our insights on that. And then our last chapter is the number one thing that stops people from getting on the road. So we share that as well. So like I said, it's 26 chapters long. There's a ton of information in there.
It is an amazing book. I'm so proud of her. She worked really hard on this, and it's a really cool accomplishment.
And now the reality is that I couldn't have done it without Craig and without him being there. But no, really. So in reality, my mom read through it and she edited it for me, which I definitely needed. And then Craig read through it again to do the second round of editing, which, like I said, I'm English, like grammar, not my strong thing. It is not my strong thing, and I will admit that, and it's fine. It is what it is. So I just have people that help me with it. My sister, Megan Jervis designed the cover and the back of the book, and Yeah, and then I also had a full launch team of, I think I ended up at like 55 people that were able to provide a lot of good feedback.
Great ideas, and
Yes, and then also friends here. So we have been with Zula Life and with my sister and her family and my parents through this whole few-month process of actually getting it together, and it's been great to have them around the campfire to be able to ask questions and get some feedback as well. So lots of people went into making this book possible. I also had Nicole Schroeder from Full-Time Families write a section in there about schooling, different from how we do it, and then also Ashley Loxton from Mama Says Namaste. She helped us with chapter 14 about that relationship time and everything. So lots of great help.
Some experts and some great resources there. So.
Yes, and Chelsea Gonzalez, she also helped with some of the logistical about getting mail and that type of stuff. So lots of help to get this book to become a reality, and I am excited.
Yes. All right, well, more importantly now, how do people get it?
Yes, so if you want to get the book, we have a link in the show notes that you can go and buy it on Amazon. You can either get it through Kindle or you can get it as an actual paperback book. So you can, whichever way you want to read it, you can go ahead and do that. And then we are also offering something with inside the book. So once you bought the book, check out, let me see, it's like on page like 3 or 4 or something. There is a special offering for those that have bought the book. So make sure to check that out as well and decide if you want to partake in that.
Yep, and join us.
Yes, join us. So lots of fun things happening.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for letting me take the time on this podcast to just talk about the book and to share that it is live. You can buy it. I don't know what the heck's going to happen, but it's done. I did it. I can't believe it in a lot of ways, but there you have it.
Yes.
It's done. It's ready. So check that out. And no, we have more podcast episodes coming. I believe in the last one, episode 10, at the end, we said that we were going to talk about unschooling coming up, which we still have not talked about in an episode. So definitely have that on our list to do.
Yes.
Also want to talk some about planning and different things and how we're figuring out where we're going and what we're doing, especially since RVing has just exploded. So hard sometimes to find the campsite you want to go to and all that. So talk about that and the little community thing, and we got lots of information to share.
There's a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yes, but like always, if you do have feedback or recommendations for us for the podcast, do
let us know.
Let us know via Instagram, direct message, or Facebook, or
go on our website, crazyfamilyadventure.com/contact. Shoot us an email.
Yes. And we have a fly joined us over here. Yes. RV life. But yes, so in any case, we will be back for more. In the meantime, check out the book, Full-Time RVing with Kids, an Insider's Guide to Life on the Road, on Amazon, and we would love to hear what you think about it. Let me rephrase that. If you really like it, write a review on Amazon. If you don't really like it, shoot me a message and tell me why. Just kidding, just kidding. It is what it is. I get it. But
only like 5 stars, please.
I'm nervous about that. Ooh. Okay.
It'll be great. Yes, it will be great. Well, thanks for listening, and we have more to come, so stay tuned for that. We will have all those links in the show notes below, so make sure to check it out.
Yes, and we will be back.
All right. Bye.